Hello, I'm back again with a shorter screencast, just showing you here how the female menstrual cycle feeds into what we call the negative and positive feedback loop of the endocrine system. Let me just remind you what negative feedback is, something you never get in class. Sorry. Negative feedback involves a response that is reverse of the change detected. So again, it functions to reduce the change. And you remember in the endocrine system just finished, we did it in the idea of glucose. High levels of insulin bring down levels of glucose. But then, of course, because we brought it down, it's going to decrease that as well. So negative feedback, a change is detected by a receptor, and an effector is activated to induce an opposite effect, reverse of positive feedback, which I always give. Positive feedback involves a response that reinforces the change detected. So basically, it amplifies the change. More of a change is detected by the receptor, and an effector is activated to induce the same effect to promote further change. Further change. So let's give you a couple of examples of this. There are some that we could do to take a look at. Now, the easiest one is a negative feedback loop. So you're going to notice, all right, that after day 14, you have super high levels of progesterone and estrogen. All right, super high levels. So high levels of progesterone and estrogen inhibit the production of FSH and LH. And that is so an egg is not developed, and obviously ovulation doesn't take place. So that is negative feedback. High levels of one thing inhibiting another. All right. There is another right here when you have the peak of estrogen right here before day 14. The peak of estrogen actually blocks. Okay, it's going to serve to, I know it doesn't look like it here with the peak here, but it's going to serve to block the release of FSH to stop follicle development. Follicles developed. So right here, notice the peak, all right, actually does to work that. So, all right, here is a positive feedback loop, all right. Estrogen reaches its highest level, slightly before, because high levels of estrogen are going to cause the pituitary to increase and peak high levels of luteinizing hormone. High level, high level. So it's already high, bring it on higher. Let's see if we can find one on else here. All right, yes, on the follicular stage, estrogen stimulates, right, the continued production of FSH receptors, or stimulates FSH receptors in the ovaries to produce more estrogen in the end. Why? Because estrogen stimulates the receptors of FSH coming down from the pituitary, which causes more FSH to be taken in, which causes more estrogen production. So a couple of examples. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to take a couple of those examples and use them in your Cornell as a negative feedback example and a positive feedback example. All right? Concludes feedback loops and the menstrual cycle. End screencast.